The old Harley Davidson. Great engines, air-cooled, old tech, but that's why we love it, right? But Harley Davidson made a huge error. And could this be the end of them? And could this be the moment where people fall out of love with the brand? Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. I hope you're all well. So here's me just tinkering again with my heroic Harley. And Harley Davidson have just brought out their brand new CVOs, 121 cubic inch engine, and it's all very nice indeed, if you can afford it, of course. But this video isn't about that. It's about the engine, which is a M8 engine, but they've put VVT on it, variable valve timing. Is this a moment where Harley Davidson fans just fall out of love with the brand? And I'm not just talking about individuals, I'm talking about on a mass scale. Is this just one step too far for the brand? Not for the CVOs, I'm just talking about when that VVT filters down, let's say, to the rest of the touring models and to the softails, if indeed they do that. Now for me, I actually welcome this variable valve timing because I think it offers a lot more consistency in the torque and horsepower range, and also it's better for fuel economy, and also it's better for emissions as well. So it ticks lots of boxes, and many manufacturers employ VVT for this very reason. It also helps Harley Davidson to manufacture these engines and keep them compliant for the next few years as well. So there's lots of benefits, not only for you as a rider in terms of how much it's going to cost you, but also how that power is delivered. But also it's good for the company as well, because it keeps them in line with all the green tick boxes, let's say. Now, many of you might be asking, well, what is VVT and how does it work? So basically what happens is that the intake and the exhaust valves are modified, the timing is modified, so it allows for better combustion efficiency, as it were. It allows more intake and it reduces the exhaust as well, and it changes it and modifies it during the RPM range. How does it do it? Well, there are various ways of doing it. It can be a mechanical way, or it can be like an electronic way with a solenoid. And what it does usually, it actually rotates the cam ever so slightly. We're talking fractions here, ever so slightly in the RPM range. And just by doing that, it actually changes the timing of the valves, the open and closing of the valves. Now, obviously, we'll have to see exactly how Harley Davidson are doing it, but in general terms, that's essentially what we're doing. You're just changing the open and closing times of the valves and changing those open and closing times according to the RPM range. I say only minor changes, but that just smoothens out your performance throughout the RPM range, and it also just makes it more efficient and helps with emissions as well. The question here is, can you really modify this engine with VVT on it in the normal way that you'd really want to do it? Now, of course, you're still going to be able to make some performance upgrades, there's no doubt. But only Harley Davidson will be able to tell us now, or tell you if you really want to buy a new bike with VVT in the future, this is, what sort of options are going to be available, or are you just kind of limited to what that bike can do? And it's just another way of kind of restricting the way you can change things. The only things you're going to be able to change, let's say, will be exhaust or the aesthetics, but not the actual performance of the engine. That kind of goes against the grain of owning a Harley Davidson, right? Now, I'm sure you're still going to be able to make quite substantial changes even with VVT, but it might not be as simple as it is right now. There's going to have to be a lot more considerations. And also the choice of cams that you're going to be able to put into it is going to be very, very limited as well. Certainly initially, and I'm sure the aftermarket cams will be more plentiful in time, but initially you're kind of going to be stuck. So is this really the end of owning a Harley Davidson, or the experience of owning a Harley Davidson, and what you may want to do with it? Now, for some people, it definitely will. It's just one step too far. It's the straw that broke the camel's back. And for other people, it'll be absolutely fine. There's no issues there at all. So for me, I don't really have an issue with it. I think it's a good thing in most applications. And I think it could even be good for Harley Davidson as a company. And I'm glad that they've kind of brought out an engine or modified an engine to be able to take this kind of technology. So it ticks lots of boxes. So I'm just not sure whether in the future, if they produce motorcycles with air-cooled engines and variable valve timing, whether it's something that I'll be interested in or not. And I suppose it really depends at that stage whether I can see myself modifying an engine or not, or whether I'm just happy just to take it as a stock engine. Now, if I'm happy to take it as a stock engine and just never do anything with it, then yeah, I'll be absolutely fine with it. I don't see there's an issue. But I think the proof is going to be in the pudding, really. When these bikes come out, when people start riding them and owning them for a while, what they really think with them. But let's know your thoughts in the comments below. Will the variable valve timing on the new M8 engine for the CVOs, and later when it filters into the touring and the softail models, will it be the end of the Harley Davidson experience? Will it kind of destroy the Harley Davidson that you and I both love? Or not? Over to you. Catch you again. Ta-da.